Watcher. Good. You have arrived.
Ahoy there yourself, Captain. What do I be but a pretty bit of man-meat to dangle from a wrist? As easily forgotten as set aside.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit. Gelarde. For this, you have my grandest commendation.
You'd have been right amused, you would. Few sights as fine as that hard-blowing three-sheeter getting what's long been doing.
You are lacking in so many ways, my former ship hunter, that no one can say you are not entertaining. I myself would have enjoyed watching you put the scoundrel in his place. That he did, indeed. And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize. However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire. Yet you live? Madiho, I have undervalued you, Watcher. I will not mince words, as you undoubtedly know what we are up against. This galleon, what likely remains of the Von Ferrus, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, Amica, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say. Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood. Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can. Go on, Mom. Ready as I'm like to get me. Dying's all anyone's liable for. Just the when and how of it's the question. But it isn't time yet for me. No. Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes, that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within, out of nowhere. Was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding, couldn't kill them, couldn't even fight them in the end. Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gavel now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the... Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it. Calling me Craven? Huh, sure, I am. Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care me. They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Fonferros of Old Valia. It belonged to a Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know. She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time. One moment, Watcher.
Looks like we'll be making a salty grog-sucking cur of this one yet.
Mind the manner in which you address me, ship hunter. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Rivan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Darkotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Rivan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume. By all accounts, our Rivan was a Darkotsi paladin who sailed to the Deadfire in order to safeguard a royal weapon of Old Valia. She is the epitome of Grand Valia, of magnificence, honor, and duty. Living or undead, she strives still to serve her charge, and yet, we know not why, but a Berethian priest called Isir opposed our Rivan, and fiercely. They fought to the death. Rivan's, to be precise, in this very archipelago. Along with her life, Rivan lost the sword she had sworn to protect. It has, lamentably, remained unfindable since. I believe it may be why she searches the seas yet. Regrettably, I know little but this. He was an Ediran warrior priest of Bereth, and a significantly fervent one, if tales are to be believed. He chased our Darkotsi to the Deadfire, hunting her to, well, to her death. Shortly after slaughtering our brave paladin, the priest died, possibly of sickness, or perhaps from a festering battle wound. He was entombed in honor of his service to Berath, in Neketaka's sacred stair. By all, she is, and yet they fought along with her. It has, lamentably, remained unfindable since. Do I not, Amika? Merla, to get my hands on such a relic, I would slit my own mother's throat, were she still alive. Meaning what, but at last? You were able to read his soul, despite how much time has passed? God save us from fools who battle with blind trust. A death guard? How fascinating. And terrible. I must, of course, presume that you've unearthed a promising lead for us. Perhaps you were able to learn about Rivan's whereabouts. Of where... I can summon to mind no island with such name. Likely it hides now behind another. I will charge my best chroniclers to track our isle through the centuries. I believe you're becoming an invaluable asset to the Principe, and I deeply value each of my assets. You must accept this token of my immense appreciation. A matter of a rather delicate nature has arisen. One which I believe could benefit from your, let us say, expertise. An associate of mine is in need of a favor. A favor that necessitates a great deal of discretion. See to this for me, and I will weight you with a considerable amount of coin. My associate conducts dealings with a group of traders of a sort. The traders are having a bit of trouble with their newest stock. A wealthy and influential man. What more do you need to know? It involves something of a sensitive topic among the Principi. I'll explain further once I can trust you're fully committed. First, swear it. I have your word on pain of death, Amica. Go on. Then you're to head to Crookspur Island, where you'll meet with Master Kua. He runs the biggest slavers' port in the Deadfire. However, they've run afoul of the locals. So now, their trade routes are under constant ambush.
Excellent goddamned question, Cap.
No, it is my associate who does that dealing. My opinion on the trade is of little matter. It is legal, unlike many of our own activities.
Since when be the fucking laws of Kith of any goddamn concern of the likes of us?
I understand you may harbor some hesitation in this regard. But in the case you reconsider, at least allow me to mark Crookspur on your charts. When you get there, speak with Master Kua. Tell him I've sent you, and he'll fill you in on what he needs.